It's Dandy Mac's Awful Podcast, and my guest is Simon Barry. Hello, Simon.
Hello.
Producer, director, writer.
Writer first.
Yeah, writer first.
Always, because that's my grind.
Is that the thing you're proudest of the things that you do?
No, it's the job I hate the most, which I feel the most responsible for doing, because it's the one that, you earn the money doing in a way that the others are way more fun.
Right. But since it's the shittiest, which I agree, I've also produced, directed, and wrote, and writing is the shittiest one. Yeah. But when you're finished, it feels very, very satisfying.
It is nice when it flows, when it's easy.
When you're in that flow state.
And it gets easier as you get older.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
How so?
That's the good thing. Less rewriting, because you've already made so many mistakes.
Oh, really?
So many incalculable number of terrible decisions in previous scripts that you stop doing that.
Right.
And so the nice thing is that you start self-editing more when you're writing, and actually even before you write, you just start thinking way in advance of the sitting down and typing part. I associate the sitting down and typing part with the part I hate the most.
Right.
So now I've learned I could do a lot of work when I'm not sitting down typing, if I can, which I do now, where I think and figure stuff out and try and hold the movie or the show in my head in a way that I'm making it. And then I sit down and I just barf it out based on what I've already written.
Right. And like thought about in the shower while you're walking around. Yeah.
And that helps me a lot, because it sort of makes me hate the typing part less.
Yes. Well, writing is... You know what I like about... By the way, for all your talk of avoiding mistakes as you get older, you've still made the critical error of coming on this podcast.
Yes, I'm aware. I lost a bet. So,
I am honored to be here for the biggest mistake of your career. Thank you for hosting.
I'm going to get canceled, aren't I?
Oh, it's gone. It's over for you.
I mean, if people listen to this podcast, I probably would get canceled based on what I think I might say. But knowing that your audience base is, not going to actually have an impact.
No, makes
me much more comfortable.
Anyone who listens to this is incapable of forming sentences that would incriminate you at all about anything.
Yeah, who's going to believe a listener when they say, even if it's recorded, they'll be like, yeah, but you listened to that podcast. I don't know. You're not very credible.
Yeah, and they're like, I was listening to this awful podcast, and they go, well, why would you listen to that? And then boom, they're stumped right there. Yeah. They have there's no recourse for them. Continuum, Van Helsing, Ghost Wars, Warrior Nun, Bet. I just have to say your credits. Normally I go on people's IMDb in front of them. They don't like that. I have actors on and I just go, here's your IMDb. And then I'm like, oh, you had 2 lines in this Hallmark movie 7 years ago?
I wish I had that in my IMDb as well.
Did you do any acting ever?
No.
Did you ever do like acting classes or anything?
I did an improv acting class on a trip to Mexico once. And then when I was...
is that on the old CV there?
No,
Can I find that on your...
And then in school at university, part of the film program was being in the theater. The theater department actually ran the film program at UBC. So you had to be... So there was obviously a lot of crossover between classes that were involving theater production and film production. And what happens in film school and in theater school is you end up acting not because you want to, but because you want to help your friends make their project. Right.
Like, oh, we need someone to feed me this line.
So every now and then I would act in my friends' films in film school, which didn't feel like, I did a version of, one of my friends did a take on the Werner Herzog documentary about the making of Fitzcarraldo, Dream Full of Burdens or Burden Full of Dreams.
That's the most film school sounding thing I've ever
So
heard.
I played a version of Werner Herzog, or was it Werner Herzog I played, or was it Klaus Kinski? Anyway, I had a terrible bad German accent.
I was just going to say, we probably have to hear the accent.
I can't. That's going to get me canceled. Accents.
I'd like to see the accent. Terrible.
Listen, I get off my horse. I will come with my sword and I will cut your head off.
The crowd loves it!
Yes. But that was the only acting I did. And then I did I think I was visiting Mina Shum's set when she did Double Happiness, and I played a featured extra.
Would these wouldn't be on the IMDb?
No. There's no credits at all. I have zero. I don't want credits. No credits.
I want to put you in something.
Yeah,
Some of my favorite writers.
I can't help but crack up when I'm looking at the lens.
Right.
I think it's hilarious that people can act. So, I mean, I love actors. Don't get me wrong. But me personally, I think who would put me in front of
You're like, I should not be on this
This is
side.
wrong. This is so wrong.
But
And so I start laughing. So I ruin every take.
I could see you doing like a good like Vince Gilligan little like he's funny sometimes when they put him in front of the camera.
Yeah. I think it's just I just don't have the itch.
Yeah, you definitely need that.
Yeah.
You need to have that something wrong with your brain where like I need to pursue an impossible career.
Yeah.
And,
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I mean,
which you're doing.
I want to be a
also.
showrunner, which is a completely different thing wrong with my brain, which is driven by
Speaking of
egomaniacal
torturing
power
yourself
and torture. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Well,
sadistic.
I think that this has been like talked about by people who know what they're talking about, but like to get some clarity from you on it, like the difference between being a showrunner or a writer in the TV world versus the feature world, right? It seems like the consensus is if you are doing that in the TV world, you almost have a bit more, I don't know, power, respect, riz. As many say.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably perceived that way. The job of showrunning actually is the distribution of power, not having power. The job of showrunning is literally management. So what I do as a showrunner all day long is I'm handing power out to the people who actually are making the show. So it's the illusion of power. I don't really have the power. The power always lies with whoever writes the checks.
Right.
That's the ultimate power. But it's probably looked at as power because you see that person organizing and managing how the show is going to get made. And it's really just driven through the need to collaborate. And so the only power I have is the power I can give to others to do their job well. Wow. That's it. And so
very diplomatic answer.
It's not just diplomatic. it's the key to success, which is laziness.
Oh, right. Yes.
The lazier you are, the more you distribute your power because you realize, A, I don't want all this responsibility.
It's a lot.
And I can't do these jobs, so why would I want to? And B, it's just too much work. I want to have fun. I want to get home for dinner.
What was something like in your career that you were like, you're like, oh, fuck, I absolutely do not want to ever do this part of filmmaking? Was there one that you realized like, oh, I don't like this element of this at all?
Yeah, I mean, when I did my first series, Continuum, I never... Thank you. Saturn Award, Leo Award winning.
Hi-oh!
And a great experience. Definitely was my grad school.
How'd you like the Leo Awards? I found there wasn't enough booze.
When I was winning them, it was great.
There we go.
Not so much. Anyway.
That's why I didn't like it. I didn't win. That's
exactly.
why.
No,
that was my problem.
It was always fun thinking, hey, we could win one. And then now you're like, oh yeah, it's fun. I actually like the Leos just because I get to see all my friends in one room, which I don't get to do very often, which is a good reason to go. It's expensive though.
It is.
If you're going just to do that, hopefully you're up for an award too.
If you win the award, do you have to pay for it? Is that the deal?
I don't know.
I heard it was like $300 for like the trophy.
I think
if you ended up winning.
I think if there's more than one winner, maybe that is true, but I don't actually know the answer. I have heard that, but I also have not paid for the ones I've won, which makes me think either someone else paid,
hell yeah,
like the production company, or there was not enough extra ones that needed to be bought.
But are they in your home? Do you get the Leo?
I have some Leos in my home. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the Continuum ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But I didn't. We won some for Warrior Nun. I don't know where those are.
Yeah. Well, whoever wrote the check, they got those.
I think they got them.
Warrior Nun back, thanks to the fans.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy.
It's not back actually.
It's not back.
No.
Well, what ended up? Did we talk about it? Did we not
what happened was, I thought I was in the middle of answering another question before I interrupted myself.
Of course, no.
And now
no.
I've forgotten.
Sir, the
question.
interruptions will all come from me. I promise you.
Oh yeah, I have
every train of thought that gets derailed is old
right.
Danny's fault.
It's Danny. There was something I was going to say about. Oh, you asked me what the job I hated.
Yeah. Everyone listening to this is like, fucking Danny.
I didn't know the degree to which notes in production were going to be like different from notes in development.
Okay.
So when I got my first notes in production, it's so late in the process. You kind of makes you crazy, and you don't react well early if you're young and stupid like I was. So I hated that because it felt like we're already making it. Like you can't do these things now. It just seems ridiculous.
You want to get all David Lynch, like, the shot will be as fucking long as I want it to be.
Exactly. It's like, we already shot that scene, I would say. Even if we hadn't, no. But that did rankle me. I guess the word is rank. I was rankled.
That's got to be a word.
It's a word. I was rankled.
Isn't that the monster from episode 6 of Star Wars?
Yeah, the Rancor. That's the Rancor. That's in
there we go.
In Return of the Jedi.
Return, yeah.
Anyway, I didn't like that. And I thought, oh, am I the wrong person? Do I have the temperament?
Right.
But I got good coaching from people who were like, hey, it's okay. Like, don't just
take it Xanax.
Listen. Don't react. Just listen. And that was very good advice. So I started doing that more, processing, not reacting. And
Can you teach me that?
I liked the job because then I could sort of deal with the notes in a way that wasn't emotional.
Right. So you're not getting noted to death. You're just getting noted.
Yeah, it just became more of a conversation and less of an attack. Right. And I think at first I thought, they're attacking me in my show. I hate them.
But do you have to do the note? Like, depending on where the note comes from?
Well, it depends. Sometimes you have a cogent argument to not do it that they haven't thought of, and you can deflect it successfully. And sometimes if it's something that's important to them in a way that is fundamental to the process, then you find a compromise, I guess. Yeah. Which is normal. But it's now become a normal thing. It's normalized in my mind. And it happens less and less, of course, when you figure out what the notes are going to be ahead of time.
Right. Hence you're blue skying while you're not sitting at the typewriter figuring out the problems.
I can anticipate the notes better now, which means I don't have to deal with them as much.
Right.
So the more I work, the more shows I've done, the fewer notes I get, which makes sense.
Hopefully. Yeah. Until you do your... How many notes you think Megalopolis got? You think
none
at all.
Because he paid for it himself.
Yeah, that's right.
So no notes.
How many wineries did he have to sell to make that?
I think he had to mortgage everything. All the bottles, all the grapes, all the vines.
He'll be personally signing the bottles of wine that people buy from now on.
Yes. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it just to understand what people are talking about.
Well, as someone who has seen it, you will see it and you still will not understand.
Okay. That's fine. I accept that. I'm okay with that.
It is like kind of crazy. There's like an element in it where Adam Driver has the ability to stop time, and it's like it's not used. Just he can just do it, but it has nothing to do with the plot or the climax of the film. Or it's an interesting choice,
right? Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility, or not.
Yeah, no, or just
don't do it.
Yeah, that's that old
just
quote.
Forget about it.
Yeah, I remember when Uncle Ben said that. Yeah, or whatever, Peter, just do whatever the fuck you want. I'm dying anyways.
You could be a superhero, or you could do nothing.
Yeah. So Warrior Nun not back.
Yeah. So here's what happened with Warrior Nun.
Is this a scoop, or do we know?
No. I've been posting about this.
Okay.
So Warrior Nun was canceled at Netflix, and then, because Netflix didn't own the original underlying rights to the IP, the comic book, a different company decided, well, we could make a movie based on Warrior Nun, which would keep this story going to a point, because some of the things we created for the TV show were property of Netflix. But that's also something that a company can negotiate back and say, we have the rights to Warrior Nun, and we'd like to use these characters. And this company that had approached me had expressed a willingness to look at that as a viable way of keeping the story going.
And could they have just done their own thing and not included you?
Of course. I have no claim. They were coming to me because they thought, well, someone has the shortcut to the actors, the stories.
And the fans clearly think, hey, this guy gets it as well.
So when they approached me, I was like, oh, this is great for the fans, regardless of whether I do it or not, because they deserve to have the story keep going. And I can contribute whatever I can contribute. But that company, as it turns out, was not really in a position to do what it had said it was going to do.
I see.
And I found out later that they weren't really, I guess, comfortable with me being the guy.
What? Sons of bitches?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah, they were happy to have me involved, but not in the level I was involved in the TV show. Let's just say that.
I see.
And so
They're like, I've heard you've done some featured extra work.
Yeah,
We
and
can
I got kind of a bad feeling from that just conversation with them that, maybe they're not. And they seemed to be very adversarial in terms of like what they were going to do to get the rights of the characters that we needed. Okay. And I just thought, this is not feeling good. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to jive with these people. So I kind of politely declined. Right. And they declined as well my participation, which was sort of a mutual declining. Right. Mutual, separation.
You can't fire me. I quit.
Conscious uncoupling. Let's just
there we go.
But we didn't have any contracts or anything like that. It was more just conversations. And then right after that happened, the CEO of this company died. Oh. And turns out he killed himself and was being investigated for fraud within, I think something like stealing the money that the company had.
I see. Yeah. So your spidey senses were tingling in all the right ways.
I was very on the one hand, I was glad I dodged the bullet, but I was sad that the process of moving forward with Warrior Nun in a new iteration, even that I wasn't going to be involved with it, was probably now over.
Yeah. Because the fans were, and for the people who don't know, when Warrior Nun got canceled, the fans did like an online petition.
God, they're incredible.
Yeah,
they put billboard up across the street from Netflix HQ for like 2 months.
That's wild.
That said, renew, renew Warrior Nun. I went down to see it. I couldn't believe it. It was right across the street from the headquarters of Netflix. So people who were on this whole side of the building, which is like a 30-story building, they looked out their window and all they saw was this Save Warrior Nun billboard.
That's crazy.
That the fans had organized themselves. I was not involved at all. Mm-hmm. They raised the money. They got the advertising company. They got the artwork. They booked the billboard. I mean, it was literally, I was so impressed with that, just their ability to kind of put all of this energy together in a pragmatic way. Right. So kudos to them. They deserve it. They deserve the story to continue. And it could continue theoretically. Again, the rights exist out there. Someone has them. They can theoretically make nice with Netflix and ask for some characters to join the fray. I mean, they should do it sooner than later, though.
I think they will. I mean, the fans work so... And I got to tell you, I know how tough it is to try to get, a group of people going to try to resurrect an old TV show. Because I tried to do that with the Cosby Show, and people just weren't having it for some reason.
I think that was misguided.
Yeah,
No, you were misguided.
Oh, I was misguided.
Not them.
Yeah,
not bringing it back.
America's just not ready for a black-led sitcom. I guess it sounds sad to say. In this day and age,
we haven't gotten there yet.
No, we will slowly. We'll figure this out.
It'll come.
And you directed. This is your first feature that you directed with the Pierce Brosnan one?
Oh, I haven't directed it. It hasn't
You
happened.
haven't directed it? It hasn't happened? I've done no research, folks. No
so
research.
It was announced that Pierce Brosnan was going to be in this movie. That I will direct, just not with Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
So yeah,
thanks Deadline.
Deadline set you up. It was a movie that is still in play, but unfortunately, Pierce is such a busy guy now with Mobland and all the other movies he's doing. And so he just said, "Look, I love you, but my schedule is not going to allow for this, especially the way we're working it, because it's an independent." So I was like, "Okay, I totally get it. You're Pierce Brosnan. Of course, you're a busy guy, and now he's even busier with the success of Mobland and his other things." So I just felt like, I'm not going to fight, a losing battle. I'll be polite and say thank you for even having been involved. And so now we're actively looking for someone to replace him.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could play a 60-year-old spy. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes, but will you get it financed?
No.
See, I love your enthusiasm. I do. I know you can with latex and
of course. I can play anywhere from 18 to 75
and some VFX as well, probably.
Of course,
a little bit, just not too much.
Do the Marvel thing.
It'd be great, but who's going to pay for it? You?
Yeah. Well, my mom is a pretty big fan.
Your mom would. If your mom wants to finance the movie, we should have a conversation with your mom.
She's not even listening to this podcast, so maybe she's not as big a fan as I thought.
Maybe she's going to be a fan of the movie that we're making.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, she'll like that. Yeah, she likes my film so far. Or at least she says she does. She's
been waiting to see you play a 60-year-old spy.
Yeah, that's her dream for me.
Or older.
Yeah, I know my dad would like me to do that shit. Hey, did you write that script with your dad?
Yeah. So what happened was I'd met this guy, real CIA retired CIA guy who had a great story to tell me for another show I was writing. But his story of being kind of, ex-CIA, living alone in the woods, kind of paranoid.
Right.
I kept thinking, wow, there's something there. I don't know what it is. And then I started working a lot on TV shows. And my dad's always been someone who I've kind of thrown ideas at and talked to about. He's a writer in his soul and his heart, but never was, professional. And so I just would often just let him read stuff or talk to him about things just to get his insight. And I was particularly busy, and I said, "Oh, I have this idea. I'm just not sure. I have this, and this. Could you write up like a story for me?" And essentially, I asked him to write a short story that sort of had a container in it for the story. And because also it's about an older man, and he's an older man,
right?
Being my father, he's older than me. He sort of injected.
I'll have to check the paperwork on that.
Yeah.
But I think that math lines up.
That math might be bad, but I've never claimed to be good at math.
No, you have your job. For
I
a reason.
have words.
Yeah.
I'm not even that good at words. So numbers, forget it.
Me no good words either.
Yeah, I can't rap good. But the thing was, he could see the perspective of this character better than I could, and so he just kind of gave me this launching pad of the short story that then I could take and adapt into the screenplay.
That's great. Yeah. I love having something to work with, like whatever, that old trope about the blank page being the most intimidating thing. It's kind of true when you can write absolutely anything or take it in any direction. Like, did you know the tone when you asked your dad, were you like, hey, I kind of want something that's a little cheeky, or I want this to be dead, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, or like...
No, he knew that the tone needed to be a little bit, because it is a love story. It's kind of a romantic comedy.
Love it.
That lets, my goal was like, what if John McTiernan did a romantic story about a spy? It's like, that's the movie. And so he understood that there was a lightness to it and an honesty that needed to have humor and a little bit of, humanity that was not typical spy shit.
Yeah.
But still had spy shit. Like it's still about spycraft. It's just not born.
Yeah, I saw Black Bag. Did you see Black Bag?
I
liked Black Bag.
Me too.
I was like, what a sweet, cool little great date movie. I'm trying to get couples to make out during it and stuff. That's the Danny Max Awful Podcast wreck of the week.
Are you buying tickets for people who need to make out that you believe would be a good couple?
Yeah.
Or are you actually turning around in the theater going, you guys, you should be making out?
Both. I'm directing traffic. You get that tongue in that mouth. I'm actually directing in the theater. I've been asked to.
How do people feel about that? That's an interesting one.
Scotiabank will not have me back.
Yeah, that's your picture at the top of the escalator.
Yeah, that's right. Do not enter.
Right.
I wanted to write something with my dad because he also, like, at the very least, would be a good sounding board. But, I worry that we would have to talk about our feelings or make eye contact, and that would be a catastrophe.
No, you don't, because the movie is the feelings. The feelings can all be transposed so that you can talk about your feelings through the characters.
Oh, my God. Maybe that's what...
And then it's therapy.
That's why the only authentic thing I've ever done is the shit that I've written. And
don't knock it.
Not this.
Don't knock it, dude. I'm looking at the posters. It's real.
Yeah. I remember once you told me as a writer that one of the biggest irritations as a writer is people coming up to you and saying, I got this great idea for something. You should write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like... It happens a lot.
I've always remembered that because it is so fucking true, completely true.
It's really true that people think that their 20-second idea is enough to generate 120 minutes of film or
like
8
you
seasons.
commit 5 years of your life to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, hey, I was taking a dump the other day and I thought Fast and Furious, but with pod racing.
Yeah,
and then go take that. Please. My gift to you.
It's great. I actually now I'm entertained by it. I used to be really annoyed by it because it was like, would you tell your lawyer how to take this case and try it?
Yeah.
But no, I feel like now number one, I'm flattered because people obviously think I'm good at my job, which, who knows? Sure. It's week to week at this
the
point.
Folks at Netflix seem to agree.
Yeah, well, I've sold a good bill of goods there. But it's really
continue to do so.
I'm very smart about who I surround myself with to make myself
except for today,
like I'm a better person at my job than I actually am. But no one wants to think that deeply. They just want to say, "Oh, you'll figure it out," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I will," and then I make 20 phone calls.
Right. Well, you know what I find when people do that is that I do like their ideas.
Yeah.
I actually think like literally every single person has a great idea for a movie or a show.
And it's true.
And
Ideas
that
are
is
one
good.
thing, and then this, what we know now through pain and suffering, is that the execution
Yes.
actually is the difference maker. Because you can make a movie. I mean, a good writer can make a movie about a terrible concept.
Yeah.
Amazing. Which is literally the craft.
Yes.
That's the genius of it.
Like the film White Chicks shouldn't have worked. But look how many Oscars it ended up winning, right? It's all in the execution.
It is. But I love it too, because every now and then someone will say something to you that actually does stick.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there is something there.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to have to go do another 800 hours of work on it.
Yeah.
And do I want to do it on that idea or something that's my idea? Let me think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually
Do I want to raise someone else's kid
yeah,
or my own kid?
That happens for sure. But every now and then there's like an idea that goes like, oh, yeah, there's something there. And I always admire if someone's done more work than just
Right.
I remember someone pitched Jackie and I. It's like this couple and they've got their new baby and they're in the lobby of a hotel and they're getting into the elevator with their baby in the stroller and something happens in the lobby and they turn around and it's a big, something's happened. They turn around and the elevator doors have closed and the baby's in the elevator and it's gone. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. What happens next? And they're like, oh, no, that's all I've got. I'm like, no, there's another 85 minutes of the movie.
That'll barely get you 5 minutes into a Twilight
what else
Zone
happens?
episode.
And they're like, oh, you're the writer. You'll figure out what the rest is. Yeah. I'm like, so are we talking shared story credit here? Or
Yeah. Just give me 75. Make it 70% of the profits. Yeah.
I'm like, that baby better be, a nuclear bomb at this point. And Tom
That's
Cruise,
the new Mission Impossible movie.
Tom Cruise better be coming down the elevator shaft to save it.
I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible, the latest one.
Me neither, but I'm going to.
Yeah, me too.
It's inevitable.
I got to see that. What did I see recently? What's something big? Oh, I saw the new 28 Days Later movie.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
I saw F1.
You saw F1?
Yeah.
Is it out yet?
It's out. I saw it in IMAX.
Did you?
It's great.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
had
a big
feeling.
F1 fan too.
Yeah. Is that Bruckheimer?
It's definitely Bruckheimer.
It screams Bruckheimer.
Screams Bruckheimer, but because it's Bruckheimer, it's impeccably made from a technical point of view.
Right.
Because that guy does not, he spares no expense.
Yeah. I got to check that out.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
And, Brad Pitt, pretty easy on the eyes.
He's watchable.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Fincher doing the Brad Pitt character from the Tarantino movie is the fucking best idea I've heard in years. Yeah. The second I heard that, I was like, that is awesome. Let's go. Yeah, let's see that.
I'm glad Quentin just decided to write it, and he needed to get that out of his system, obviously.
Yeah, he obviously loves that guy and that character. And so anyway, the only reason I mention how annoying it is for people to pitch you movie ideas
It's because you're about to do
I'm
it.
about to pitch you several movie ideas here.
Okay.
All right. So you tell me what you think. I say you and I march into Netflix.
Sure.
Now, you're a big sci-fi guy, so I tried to keep that in mind for you here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's idea one. Okay. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stars as Professor Rip Thickman, a theoretical astrophysicist who discovers that he's grown a third peck whose density is causing gravitational shifts in the solar system. Can Professor Thickman solve the formula of his own unpredictable triple-barrel chest before it's too late? The Rock stars in The Three Booby Problem. Now, I'm not married to the title, but I say we march into Netflix and we say, make this or you're fools. What do you think?
Where's the heart?
I guess it would be somewhere between the left and middle peck.
His heart is not being pushed down by the extra peck.
Yeah, I guess we need a love interest.
I mean, I'm cynical enough to think that if The Rock is in it, everyone will make it.
Hell yeah.
We could pitch the town and get a bidding war.
We could.
Because it's The Rock. I mean, literally, that's how cynical I am about the business right now. It's like, if you get The Rock in it, it could be a movie about a peck.
Right. I mean, essentially.
That he's voicing. And it's like
I thought the third peck
it's a Pixar peck movie. And The Rock does the voice of the peck. And
he's
now
the peck.
He's the peck. And now we've made a movie. It's definitely going to get made because The Rock
like an Eddie Murphy type thing. Like he's him and he's the peck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like it.
I mean, that's cynicism.
Or we could throw Jack Black in as the peck. He's hot right now.
Anything, if you put Jack Black and Dwayne Johnson together, Twins.
Peanut butter and
Twins
jelly.
2.
Twins 2. Do you know they were going to do a Twins 3 and Eddie Murphy was going to be the third twin? For real. That's a real thing.
That's awesome.
I know. Okay, I got another one for you.
So yes, we're buying that one. And
that's a sell?
Yeah,
that's a good.
I mean, come on, it's The Rock's in it. Who doesn't love The Rock?
We've done it, folks.
Dwayne The Rock.
Cha-ching.
Everything's computer.
No, I wrote these, not AI. I promise. Okay. Do you want to read one?
Sure.
Okay. Now this is. I noticed the MOW space doesn't have any sci-fi.
No.
So I figure we could. I figure we could corner the market here. Now I worked with Lacey Chabert before.
Like a Hallmark sci-fi movie?
Yeah. So I think maybe.
I've wanted to do one of those. For sure.
Well, we march it. Let's hear.
Lacey Chabert stars as a grizzled time cop, Betsy Sugar, Detective Betsy Sugar, sent back from a bleak timeline in Wait a minute, this is my show.
No,
this is Continuum.
See, this is where
from
I hook you.
2067. That's only 10 years off mine.
It's close.
Detective Sugar must prevent a heroin addict from impregnating a teenage prostitute who will one day give birth to a man who possesses the ability to infect anyone. You don't believe in commas, do you? To infect anyone who doesn't believe in the power of Christmas with the rage virus 28 days later, period.
Yeah, that's a long one.
I don't have to work out later today now. Lacey Chabert stars in There's Always Time for Christmas.
What do you think? You think Hallmark would go for it?
I mean, have you seen what they make?
I mean, so that's a yes.
I haven't, so I'm asking actually genuinely. I haven't seen it.
I audition for them every now and again, and yeah.
I mean, it seems like very Continuum-esque. So I'm naturally gravitating towards it because I feel like I own this space.
Yes. Legally, you might also own this space. I could be in trouble even for...
However, do I think, I mean, just because I think I own the space doesn't mean I can sell the space. But you never know.
Okay. Well, it's something.
It's a beginning.
The Rust Belt, they need sci-fi too.
I'm feeling very positive today, so I'm just going to say yes.
Okay. Well, yes. I don't know if that's trash.
Plus, I could get extra residuals on the Continuum fact that you've stolen my own idea.
And you don't think Hallmark would be worried about the heroin addict impregnating the teenage prostitute angle?
As long as they're white, I think they'll be fine. I'm never going to work at Hallmark, I guess, now. Oops.
And they're certainly straight, so it's got that going for it as well.
Yeah, if it's, it should be, whatever they want.
I got one more for you. We might need... Do you have Taylor Sheridan's contact information? Because we might need the okay from Taylor Sheridan on this one. But it's called...
I know where to find him. You can always find him at the rodeo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
that's where I assume you'd find him.
He's a rodeo rider.
Does he compete in rodeo?
I believe he does. I don't know if he does anymore because he's a billionaire, but...
Yeah. He gets other people to break
I think
their spines.
if you hang out at rodeos, I think you'll run into Taylor.
If you hang out at enough rodeos. I'm not going to
personally hang out at rodeos because I'm not that...
Not your scene?
It's not my scene.
Really?
Yeah. I'm more of a, Hall H guy.
Oh, I see.
I like to hang out at Hall H.
Hall H is a good spot.
And just see who shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm a craft services table.
And definitely craft services. I like to hang out there, but I try not to eat.
I
like to watch.
A handful of nuts with M&Ms in them turn into 20 handfuls of them. That's like a dinner. Like 3 handfuls of M&M nuts?
No, I don't even like to visit sets now because of that.
Yeah. That's the one thing you learned when you were filmmaking. You don't want to do it
when you're working, you don't have time to go to craft service usually, especially if you're directing. But if you're visiting, that's all you do.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't do it. I can't.
Yeah. I remember the first times I went there, I was just poor. When you're like on set for the first time, you're like, I can't believe there's free food here.
I had an idea about that when I was a PA and broke. I thought if you bought yourself a walkie-talkie and a belt that holds that walkie-talkie, and you just walked around town, you could eat for free all year.
Yes.
You could just walk into any line for catering or craft service, as long as you got a walkie on.
Yes.
No one's going to question your who you are or why you're there, because everyone has, on every set, there's someone they don't know. Yeah. And
you could get in trouble for doing the old, like,
and you're not stealing, really. It's just food. I mean, I guess technically it's stealing, but it's food. It's not like
someone's never seen the first act of Aladdin.
It's not like you're stealing. It's not like taking someone's computer or something. It's just eating food, and then you go from catering, and a lot of that stuff gets tossed at the end of the day. We all know it, Yeah. So the catering truck, the craft service table, you just need a walkie-talkie. I'm probably encouraging bad behavior right now.
No, listen.
To your 4 followers.
To my job at the bar. Yeah, that's right.
Don't, hey, 4 listeners. This is your Uncle Simon talking to you right now. Listen.
Degenerates listening to this were already stealing.
Do not steal from the catering or the craft service. That's food that the crew needs.
Right. unless you want to.
But you could also work. You could actually earn it.
You could be a PA.
Yeah.
And then you could get those granola bars and the apples and the
Yeah.
hot snack coming around.
I did stuff when I was a PA. I did eat everything I could eat just because I had like
Well, you have to.
food anxiety at home.
Yeah.
Because I had roommates.
Yeah.
So you come home and open the fridge and all the food's gone.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter.
Absolutely.
Plus you're working long hours as a PA.
Yeah, you got to gorge. The PAs work incredibly hard. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're there a long time.
Especially locations.
Okay, Taylor Sheridan. So here we go.
Oh, yeah, Taylor Sheridan show.
Landman in Space.
Spaceman.
Here we go. After successfully fracking every country on Earth, Landman sets his sights to the stars with plans to build oil rigs on every planet. But this all-American spaceman soon encounters his greatest foe, an alien species that only uses renewable resources. Boo! Landman generously offers to cover their planet with oil wells, but when they refuse, Landman realizes he's going to have to murder every last frackin' one of them. What do you think?
Those Trisolarans.
Those fucking Trisolarans? Can we talk about those fucking scumbags, the Trisolarans?
You're a bug, Danny. I'm a bug.
How
We're
dare
both
they
bugs.
speak to Earthlings like
We're
that?
both bugs, but their tech is cool.
Yeah, but their planet, how long did it fucking last? We're bugs. They got no home.
Yeah.
Their nest is destroyed.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Sorry.
I can't tell you how upset I was when I read the third book and when the sword holder position switched, watching those scumbag fucking Trisolarans.
Hang on. I'm still reading.
Okay, sorry.
Don't spoil
Which book are you on?
the Death's End.
Oh, me
at
too.
the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. That was
on.
nothing. That was
Okay.
nothing.
God.
Yeah.
My God. It's got some great scenes in it, though.
Yeah, it really
Can't wait
does.
for the boys to get.
Would you like more, the
up.
first or second book of the three bodies?
I think I like right now. I think, it's a kind of the first book was mind blowing because it was all new information.
Yes.
The second book though has sequences that I think are going to be incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm
second
more
book is
keen
very
on the
good.
second book in terms of just like the storytelling.
Yeah, it would make a better, like, I don't know, a movie, for lack of a better way
When
to
you think
describe
about the
it,
big climax in the book one, which is the boat,
Yeah.
it's not like anything close to what you have in the second book.
Yeah.
In terms of like just whoa
Yeah.
moments.
I'll say Death's End does that again, where you're like, this feels like a different part of a different trilogy when you're reading it. Just like stakes keep getting upped and upped. And
I can't even imagine where it goes.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Landman in Space.
Yeah. So the best of these ideas?
It's cool. I actually like it.
Right. And
do
all
like
he
that-
wants to do is introduce them to the power of fracking.
I like
Boy.
the idea of greed triggering an intergalactic war. It's like
Well, that's where you're wrong. Because
Humans will never learn until they try to frack the wrong planet, and then it's like, oh, greed is bad.
Yeah. But if Landman has taught us anything, is that oil is good and anything but like solar bad, water bad. So Landman knows it's oil time or your species is
I
going
thought
down.
the only thing Landman had taught us was that any female character should be wearing as little clothing as possible.
That is correct
in
as well.
In the home.
Yes, that's right.
In the home.
In the home. Yeah.
In the home.
You should see the spacesuits that they've got for his daughter in this spin-off that I'm writing.
Then
Yeah.
I think Taylor will be right on board.
Okay, Sheridan's on board.
But
Love
that's
it.
again, it's like a rock scenario where we have Taylor Sheridan. It's like, yes, it's going to get made.
Yeah, you got the green
We don't
light.
even have to really take a guess.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Wouldn't that be sick to just be in the position where you're like, I got an idea for it, and they're like, done, greenlit, go, make it.
Hey, more money, more problems, though, right?
Yeah,
you gotta
I
have
guess
like,
so.
how many shows does it take till you're like, oh my god, I'm tired? I get tired on one show. I don't know how Taylor
Well, that's
Sheridan makes
tiring.
8 shows and feels.
Yeah, him and Shonda Rhimes.
How do you get out of bed?
Yeah.
I would just stay in bed and go, not today.
Yeah.
I'm only going to make 6 shows today. I'm not
not
going to
doing
make 8.
Yeah, the next
can't do
season's
it.
going to be 2 episodes, kids. Yeah.
So, yeah, there are diminishing returns, of course.
Do you want to do our top 5?
Oh, yeah, top 5.
Oh, let's
what
do it.
What are top 5 what?
Top 5 this week, we're doing top 5 movies that you wish had sequels. That's what we're doing. Do I have a drum roll? Oh, I do. I'm gonna start at 5, and number 1 will be the one I want most.
Am I rating these or just not reacting?
You can rank them yourself.
Okay.
Because we'll go back and forth and do them.
All right.
And then we can have a little brief
Then we'll have
discussion.
a contest.
Yeah.
Can we get
see.
the caller? Can we have a caller call in and see who wins?
I don't think
No one's
anyone has
listening.
called me in 5 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Then
Yeah, I would love that. We could go on Instagram Live and
So
see.
this isn't that kind of show where it's like long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah,
That's not what we're
more
doing.
like
I'm over the age where I understand what a podcast is. We're not on the radio right now.
we're not. This is not
Oh.
a first time,
I
long
thought
time.
podcast was just a new word for radio.
No, see, it's so much more than
Feels
that.
like
it's
radio.
something that can influence elections now. Radio shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If we're on video.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Everything's computer.
Okay. Top five movies that we wish had a sequel. Simon, you want to go first? What's your number 5?
Well, here's the funny thing: if we have any that are lined up,
I have a ton of
we should
honorable mentions.
we should start dating.
Yeah, I know, and I think we are going to have some crossover. I
okay.
guarantee at least one of mine.
So
is
my
gonna be in
first one is Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai. Okay,
Yeah.
state your case for a Buckaroo Banzai
Well,
sequel.
the number one case for Buckaroo Banzai is at the end of Buckaroo Banzai. It literally says Buckaroo Banzai will return in Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. So when I saw Buckaroo Banzai and I loved it, I even, I loved the music, I loved the costumes, the whole story, everything, Jung Big Butte, John Smallberries. It's a great movie. I saw this thing in the credits. It said Buckaroo Banzai will be back in Buckaroo Banzai versus the World Crime League. And I was like, I can't wait for Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. I'm waiting.
You're still waiting.
So
And how
that's-
long has it been now?
What was that, 1987? 1985?
Hey,
4?
any day now.
Any day now?
All the Warrior Nun fans are like, sorry, how long can it take to get a fucking... well, I will hold out hope for Buckaroo Banzai for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Top 5 movies you wish had sequels. I'm going to go with Team America World Police.
Oh, yeah,
It's
for
the
sure.
only straight comedy on my on my list.
It's a great one.
Now, I think realistically, if you're writing that...
They destroyed didn't they save the world and kill all the
They
bad guys?
killed Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Or is it Kim Jong-il?
It was ill then.
Yeah, it was ill. Yeah. They should
movie.
focus on his brother, mental ill. Hey-oh!
Clap.
Thank you. Simon, you don't have to laugh that hard at this joke. Come on.
Can't help myself.
That's an old Letterman classic,
Yeah,
that line.
yeah.
Team America. But the thing is, like, what could they do that they haven't already done? I think maybe... Now you could, I don't know. There's more stuff to focus on now,
It
but
doesn't even matter. It's just.
I just want more puppets saying
hilarious.
awful things
Yeah.
and fucking each other,
Yeah.
fucking and sucking.
And the musical numbers.
Yes, the songs are
The
incredible.
songs are incredible.
Yeah, those guys really went to. They really know their shit. Yeah,
Damn.
obviously they're Tony Award
They
winners.
should put it on Broadway.
Yeah.
Team America.
They should. And I've been waiting for them to make a Book of Mormon movie forever. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it seems like a no-brainer.
I think it's still touring, making money.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And then they still got to do South Park and the whole thing. All right. Top 5 movies we wish had sequels. Simon, you're number 4.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What would the sequel feel like to you think?
Bigger Trouble
Yeah.
in a bigger China.
In a littler China?
Bigger China. Big Trouble in China.
There we go.
Maybe they just Kurt Russell goes to China.
Maybe to try to, Trump sends him.
Yeah.
Wants to get to.
Exactly.
You know,
And
Everything's computer.
that's
Right.
what he says. And
That's
he
what
sends
says.
Kurt Russell.
So I
down.
feel like that movie had unfinished business for sure.
Yeah. And it has that, like, well,
And
I
the
don't.
tone. I love the tone. I miss movies like that had like full on devil may care humor, action,
Yeah.
wink to the audience. It's like everyone knew the deal.
Yeah. Are you excited for the new Naked Gun movie coming out? The reboot?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be my Naked Gun.
I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
from the Zuckers, Abrams days.
Casting choice is great.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
think-
I just
yeah.
feel like it's a different era, different time.
Yeah. I hope that it feels like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the airplane style shit, you
Yeah.
know? We'll see. Take
Yeah.
a seat and then around
I
with the
mean,
chair. Yeah.
the Naked Gun, that scene where O.J. Simpson's in a wheelchair at Dodger Stadium,
Yeah.
and the guy lets him go, and the wheelchair goes flying down to the railing, and then the body goes flipping over and over and over. I mean, that's real comedy right there.
I gotta tell you, that's like the main reason I love Married with Children so much, because when Al Bundy would get hurt, it looked so fake and the dummy, and it was just, that was so funny to me. And like that itself is a wink to the audience saying
That's
like,
it.
we understand that this is the dumbest thing you're watching on TV.
We're all
right
in
now.
it together.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. My number 4 is, God, that's loud. David Fincher's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Well, we already know what the second one is.
Yeah, because you can watch the
watch
Swedish
it.
ones, of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you want to see the Fincher version.
I want the Fincher. I love Fincher, man.
Yeah.
I want,
Okay.
but hey, if Fincher's gonna do Brad Pitt a Hollywood movie, then yeah, power to the Finch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Top 5 movies we wish had sequels but don't have sequels. Simon, number 3.
The Nice Guys.
My number 3. The Nice Guys.
Yeah,
Let's go. Shane Black on the list.
Shane Black. Well, it's just those characters. I didn't get enough.
Yeah.
I didn't get enough of Ryan and Russell.
Yeah, they're funny.
Yeah,
they're great
really
together.
funny, and that was a good a good vibe. That I just love that movie.
I know what your number 1's going to be. I'm not going to. I just think we have the same. I think in the next 2 we're going to have a similar one. Maybe. Okay, Nice Guys, definitely.
Yeah.
Top 5 movies we wish had sequels. Simon, number 2.
Number 2 is Brazil
Brazil
by Terry Gilliam. Yeah.
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh,
Do I got to go watch Brazil?
you gotta watch Brazil.
Okay, I'm adding Brazil to my list.
Brazil is a world unto itself.
When was Brazil made?
Brazil was definitely in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember numbers.
That's
I don't
fine.
do numbers. I
Just
do words.
decades. We'll work in decades. Yeah.
Yeah. But Brazil is like a dystopian comedy with Monty Python DNA mixed with Blade Runner
Oh my
on
God.
acid
Oh my God.
with, I don't know, just irreverent, stupid humor. And Ian Holm and Robert De Niro.
What?
And I don't know. It's like it's very Kafka-esque for sure, but in a way that's it's visual.
I've always wanted to describe something as Kafka-esque, so I have to watch Brazil now just so I can tick that off.
No,
on
it's
my
a really
list.
it's a really good movie. It's also got tons of like beautiful imagery, and it's very imaginative and different, and you won't be able to compare it to anything you've ever seen or will see again.
Okay.
That's it.
That's a good sell.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
it
great non-spoiler. Yeah.
No, it's worth your time. And then there's the last one. I think we will agree on.
Yeah, I think I know what your last one's going to be, but I'll do my second last.
Okay.
I bet my second last is your number 1, actually. My second last is District 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
I consider District 9 in my list.
Yeah, District 9, me and my friend Chris were like, the second that movie ended, when we saw it in the theater, we're like, can't wait for the sequel.
right.
And then Neil Blomkamp, they're like, he's not doing a sequel, but he's going to do a Halo movie. And we're like, okay, fine. We will
take
wait.
that.
We're down for a Halo thing.
Yeah.
And then the District 10.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
You never know.
Fucking pros, man. Yeah, we love that
Yeah,
shit.
it's a great
Charlotte
movie.
Copley,
Great movie.
it's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
solid. My final one is you need a drum roll.
I absolutely did. Simon, your number 1 all-time movie you wish had a sequel?
True Lies.
True Lies! That's a great one.
Yeah,
that's-
because look, they have all the elements there. It's ready to go. It's
It
a
is.
buddy cop relationship, spy,
They're both
action,
still killing
comedy.
it as
They're both still
actors.
killing it. They're
Yeah.
even working together still.
Yeah.
I don't know why True Lies doesn't have a sequel. It's a franchise that should have been and would have minted
Yeah.
billions and trillions, yet Jim Cameron felt the need to go make what? Titanic?
Yeah, like why doesn't he just let someone else go make another
Yeah.
True Lies like he does with all the Terminators and stuff
Come
like
on.
that?
Let's
Yeah.
get True Lies back.
That's
It's
a good
not
one.
Too late.
Yeah, that's a good one. Damn.
Everyone's still alive.
Yeah, they are. And like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Academy
top of her
Award
game.
Academy Award winner.
I saw her in
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Showgirls last year. She was incredible in that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, my number 1 all time is movies I wish had sequels. This one's kind of a cheat, but it's because when Tarantino wrote it, he wrote it as one film, so I'm going to say Kill Bill.
Oh, I was going to put Kill Bill 2 as my. I wish there was a Kill Bill 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
But Kill Bill 2 does kind of end
it does.
with redemption and
It does.
closure.
But everyone's like, well, let's see what happens to the little girl who
Right.
watched her kill. I don't even know if that's what I would want for the third Kill Bill movie, but it could even, and I really don't always like when movies come back and it's like about their kids, because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I didn't sign up for a movie about their kids. I want these characters again.
Yeah.
So that works sometimes, but not often. And so I don't know if I'd really like
You just
that.
want it because you know it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be very fucking cool.
Yeah.
I want the RZA to do the soundtrack again. I want those crazy ass sword fights. The cinematography at the House of the Blue Leaves is the fucking most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah.
So I'd want to kill Bill. Do you have any honorable mentions?
The movies I loved being in the world and I want them to continue being in that world was like Sexy Beast. Just that British crime gangster Spain mashup. I just loved it. Loved that movie. Loved the whole tone of it. Loved those actors. What's another one I was thinking of? I mean, I'd love to stay. I think the Blade Runner world is amazing.
Yeah,
I feel like
there could be more stuff.
There's more
stories
in there in
the universe
in
is
the
so
world
rich.
of it. I think it's really rich, and there's more to say. It's very political. It's very social. It's very but it's also noir detective.
Yeah.
It's like I'd just like to watch a good old-fashioned detective story in that setting.
Yeah, it's very cool genre mash.
And then I don't know. I mean, I do love John Carpenter, and I love They Live. Mm-hmm. And They Live is such a great idea, and it's such a great movie. I don't know what the sequel is, but I do feel like there's a potential sequel.
The glasses are in it.
Yeah,
the poster
for sure.
is just the glasses with blood splatter on them. The poster for the sequel is just like they continue to live, or they live again.
They live again. I mean, I just feel like that's a great concept, and so fun again.
Yeah,
fun time at the movies. Simon just wants a fun time at the movies. Apparently,
can't we
just
give Simon a fun time? Hollywood,
laugh, cry.
I've got for honorable mentions the Carl Urban Dredd movie where he was Judge Dredd. That was cool. It was
Dredd 2.
Yeah, more Dredd.
Dreadful.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Too Dread, Too Furious.
Yeah,
I got
Fury Road.
Yeah,
Dread
there we
Fury
go.
Road, yeah.
Clueless. I mean, it's too late now because I want to see teenage. I just want to see like when she's a young woman.
More clueless.
Yeah, exactly. But it's beyond.
Could she be more clueless?
Could she be more clueless? Little Chandler there. Bridesmaids. I could use more bridesmaids.
Oh, God.
Galaxy Quest. I think
I was on my list.
Yeah. But I think they're making a sequel to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to see it without Alan Rickman,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be rough.
but Sigourney Weaver all day for
If Sam Rockwell's in it,
And Sam Rockwell.
I will be there.
Yes.
And Sigourney Weaver.
Chad, right? He's Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that movie.
Fuck, he's funny in that. He's so man. That guy can do it all, huh?
All the Sam Rockwell movies could be sequeled.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
They should just do a spin-off of his character from Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Like just the Hammer, whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
something like
Justin
that.
Hammer.
Yeah.
I also have the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out 2 years ago. It's fucking excellent.
It's a great movie. Chris Pine is phenomenal in it.
He's so good.
And it definitely deserves a sequel.
It does.
That's a good one.
And I've never like played D&D. I'm not like a board game nerd, but like that movie's just plain fun.
It's fun.
And great and a great adventure movie. It does things that like I can't describe why this works in some movies and doesn't in others, but like huge action sequences that are 100% CGI, and I know I'm just like watching a cartoon basically.
Yeah.
I don't know why some movies I'm like I zone out because it's fake, but in this one there's like the person who can shapeshift and they turn to like an eagle, then a mouse, and they try to get away from people. I'm like, this is so fucking cool.
I think it's funny and there's context to it. It's not just visual effects for the sake of it. It's visual effects being used in a way that actually elicits a different emotion, which is not like awe and delight. It's humor or surprising or something character. I agree. I think that movie deserves way more platitudes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I guess it came out at a weird time or whatever. But that movie's
I also
excellent.
think people thought it was going to be something else.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be like a Lord of the Rings movie or something.
Oh yeah, maybe it was a marketing thing.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Chris
You would
Pine's-
think more people would show up. If it was a Lord of the Rings
I
movie.
know. There's lots of Lord of the Rings stuff now for those. And then I got one where this is the Han Solo movie, like
Solo sequel 2?
Yeah.
Solo 2.
like more Solo,
Solo.
Han duo.
Solo duo.
They like I don't know, like this, hot take here, hard to please Star Wars fans, but like I don't know, man. I didn't have great expectations for that going in because I'm like I don't want to know everything about the most mysterious guy in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then I liked the movie and I was like, this is very good. I don't know what people's problem is with it. I think people were just again, like salty for the sake of being salty. That like, oh no, we're learning about why him and Chewbacca have a fist bump. That's only they know, or whatever.
It was a tough time for the Star Wars fans then.
Yeah. Those poor babies.
They weren't getting what they wanted.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, having now talked about it, it's like Murphy's Law. I'll be offered it probably now too.
Oh yeah,
to go do it. I guess. Yeah, I'm manifesting. Right now.
Yes, please manifest.
I got to get a Star Wars in me before.
Yeah.
I remember my wife got one and I haven't had one. It's like
Jackie's just holding that.
She lords over me.
Yeah. She Sith Lords it over you.
Pictures of her with Darth Vader.
Fuck. Really?
You want to see it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, podcaster listeners, but this will not be able to be seen. But you can go onto my Instagram and see it.
I'll put this in when we release the episode. This will be. I'll do in the vibe check.
I call this the coolest picture ever because it might be the coolest picture ever.
This could be over your wedding photo. Yeah, it's aptly named.
It's definitely the coolest picture ever. I think you'll agree.
Probably.
This is the coolest picture ever.
Oh, I saw this, and this is like not only is it just cool that she's
directing Darth Vader.
It just looks well shot, but she's directing Darth Vader. This itself is could be a poster.
Yeah, she's barefoot in a skirt, at 2.5 feet shorter than Darth Vader, and holding up her arms like, why don't you just do it the way I tell you to do it? And he's looking down like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you need a line read? Do you need a fucking line read? Because I will give you a fucking line read if we can move this along. Darth.
Yeah, you should post that on your site.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck, that is cool.
I know.
Jealous.
So I'm jealous.
And then you were probably like, so what? Because she directed or she was working on what was it, the Obi-Wan Kenobi
she was
show?
Directing all the second unit on Obi-Wan. Yeah.
So cool. And you were probably like, so what happens in it? And she's like, NDA.
She was killing me.
Motherfucker, can't tell you.
She was like, you wouldn't believe what happened today. I was like, what? I can't tell you.
She's like, I don't want to say. Hey,
Kathleen Kennedy will have me executed.
That'll be the last thing you ever see.
Next to the green screen. I'm like, yeah, okay.
What's some trashy shit? Do you play video games?
Yeah, I love video games.
What do you play?
I'm a PC Steam guy.
So the PC Master Race.
I like
you think
keyboard
you're better
and mouse.
than us?
I'm a PC old school timer. Like,
damn.
Let me just tell you how old I am. Me and my friend Raul Inglis, we were old school IBM PC guys back in the day when this game Doom came out.
Doom. Yes, I'm familiar with
it. It came out right after
Speaking
Castle
of movies with The Rock.
Wolfenstein. So Doom came out, and Raul and I, this is before the internet, the real internet. This is, back in the day when you had to use a phone to put into a rubber thing to connect to like the World Wide Web. Anyway, we realized, because we both had computers in the apartment we were sharing, that we could connect Doom and play together in the same realm.
Holy fucking
Which,
shit,
as a concept,
folks.
You have to understand, and this is in like 1980s, was so mind-blowing that we were like, we are going to make this happen. Let's figure it out. So we got all these specs and we figured out how to create a LAN in our apartment.
LAN party.
Which was not a thing. We didn't even know what LAN was. This was basically like, wait, the modem in the back of your computer can connect to the modem in my computer? What the hell? So we had to wire and
It's like how they have sex in the Avatar movies.
We were doing DOS programming. We started at 7 p.m. and we completed at 5 a.m. and started playing when it finally worked, because we had 80 false starts where we could not connect. Some error kept coming up. Boolean loop. Anyway, blue screen of death. Boolean loop.
The blue screen of death.
And so finally, when we got it, we were just like playing, going, I can see you. Can you see me? I can see you. Can you see me? We weren't even shooting anything. We were just running around the map. And totally mind blown that each of our characters was in the game map together. Never had that experience before. Didn't know anyone who had ever played online or a LAN party. We literally invented LAN that night, we thought. Because we didn't know about it. It didn't exist. Right. It wasn't in the vernacular. So yes, I play PC games.
You invented multiplayer.
I invented the LAN. You can quote me.
I'm updating your Wikipedia right now.
Only for Doom on a Windows 95 machine.
Oh, yeah. Just how God intended.
It might have even been before Windows 95. I think it might have been a previous version. Anyway, I think in 95 I'd already left Raul. I'd moved out.
Oh.
Yeah. I decided to
Still in touch?
He lives in Australia.
Wow.
So it's hard.
Yeah. But not for a LAN. Or
not for online game. We do still online game now and then. We play, what's it called? Deep Rock Galactic, something like that.
What's that?
It's a fun multiplayer game. Anyway, so yeah, I'm playing games right now. I just got into Claire Obscura Expedition 33. Mm-hmm. Really cool. I'm replaying Death Stranding because I want to be fresh for the sequel.
Right. Yeah.
I like the Star Wars games that I'm playing. Jedi Survivor. I'm taking my time.
Mm-hmm. Do you like other Kojima games, like the Metal Gear Solid and stuff
I
like
hate
that?
David Hayter, so I will not play.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot stand David. No, I'm kidding. David Hayter is one of my good friends, and I worked with him on Warrior Nun.
I was going to say, it can't be the voice.
And all he does is remind me that he's Solid Snake.
Do you just get him to do the snake voice?
No, he
every
does
now
it
and
all the
again?
time.
Really?
Because he has no freaking sense of propriety or guile or modesty.
Nice.
No, I love David. David's the best. But yeah, I've heard of these games, but I can't bring myself to play them. I didn't play them when they first came out, so it's very hard for me to go back and
Yeah, I know
like
what you
play
mean.
a game that's like
They don't age.
Wait, I can't play this in 21:9 and 8K. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to play. I
know.
refuse.
I'm playing a lot of Fortnite. It's a
Are you
baby's
15
game.
too?
It is a baby's game
a-
for babies. Yes, I know
Even
that.
my 15-year-old nephew has outgrown that.
Yeah, as he should. Yeah.
So, but I do get the battle royale, excitement.
Yeah.
You must be really good that you've been playing it since it came out, and you're, a man.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. One
Do
would
you
think.
have you had a chicken dinner yet?
I have not.
Oh, is that a different game? Am I
That's a
thinking-
different one. Yeah.
Chicken dinner is that's the other battle royale one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What do you get in Fortnite?
When you win,
It looks like a cartoon. I can't bring myself
it
to
is a
play a
cartoon.
game that's a cartoon.
Literally, it's a cartoon. Like now, I'm playing as Hank Hill in it. I got the Hank Hill
Oh,
skin.
right.
So I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. So I'm like,
It's
I
gotta
can
be
be
funny.
Hank Hill.
And does
dang it.
everyone sees you as Hank Hill? in the
Yeah,
game?
yeah, that's right. So
Must
I'm
be
running
fun.
around.
Must be fun for someone to kill you when they see you.
Yeah, they're
because your
going-
head is huge.
Yeah,
You're a
Peter
big target.
Griffin is in it. The Simpsons will be in it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Listen, I might just try Fortnite to see if I can find you and kill you.
Do it. Come on, we got to get Simon Barry on Fortnite.
But I'm not going to be good. I'm good at single player shooters.
We got to get the Warrior Nun crowd to get Simon Barry to play Fortnite.
Yeah.
They need a new mission.
They
now.
do need a new mission.
Yeah, put
Actually,
them to work.
Get the characters in there. There would be some residuals. Not for me, for someone else.
I mean, you could start selling off the characters from
I
Bet
can't.
over to. Oh yeah, you
I can't. No, I don't get that.
Yeah, you could tell Netflix that idea. They'd make $1 billion
exactly.
and be like,
Hey,
who told us that?"
I've got nothing else to do better than to help you guys make more money. So here's an idea. No, I'm going to spend my free time doing what I've always done, which is to create my own Star Wars franchise that I will sell for $4 billion.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Get that Lucas money.
Yeah, if only they made originals anymore, but they don't. So that's not going to happen.
Do you think that there is this serious lack of original IP? Well, I guess it's not IP.
There's no
'cause
lack
it's
of
original.
originals. There's a lack of will to make originals.
I see. Yeah.
It's scary.
Do you think when a truly good original comes out, and they do decide to finally greenlight it, and these things do come out, do you think more often than not, as they say, the cream rises to the top, like people do see them if they're good? Or are you seeing a lot of great original stuff come out and you're worried like no one's watching it?
Well, they get seen if The Rock and Jack Black are in them.
Right, yeah. So the movie star still exists and
They're
still has power.
the only reason I think big movies get made is because, even if the idea is great, I think that no one's going to take the risk unless they know, oh, well, Dwayne will bring him in.
Yeah. You get The Rock, you get Jack Black, and then, we're going to Sam Rockwell needs to run it. When's he going to be like the lead of a franchise? We need Sam Rockwell to...
Yeah, I don't know.
When you're writing, I promise this, I know already, this is so fucking boring. People, it's like, don't ask writing questions, but I love writing questions.
Ask away.
Like, how much time do you spend outlining before you like whip open? What are you writing on? You do final draft? You have final draft guy?
Final draft.
Yeah.
But I also work it depends. Sometimes the studio wants you to work in screenplay.
Right.
So it just depends.
Because they've got their own formatting.
Yeah. So on Warrior Nun, I think we worked in screenwriter, not screenplay, screenwriter, and then Bet we did final draft, and everything's just.
They all feel
I'm
the same,
fine.
though,
I'm
right?
fine. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
As long as the words are good. Because I can't write good. It's not a good.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Not a strong writer. I think, ask your question.
Like, what are your what are your
outlines.
outline documents even look like, and how long are you spending on that compared to the actual? I mean, you're on deadlines a lot, which is a great.
Yes.
The ultimate goal of all writers is to have deadlines because it means that people want your writing.
Also, you have to be, it's great if you're a lazy procrastinator.
Yes.
Which helps me immensely to have a deadline.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Not me, not
self-imposed.
Mr. Fortnite.
No, you're busy.
I've done no writing this year at all.
Yeah, see, the problem with multiplayer games is you're forced to keep playing because you have to like stay in the game to win. Whereas I need to be able to stop, shut it down, move, go do something else, have a marriage, come back,
Right.
and then pick up where I left off, which you can't do in these massive multiplayer games with stakes.
Yeah.
I know the satisfaction of killing real people online is different than killing stormtrooper bots.
Right. It is a little bit different.
Yes.
I also need time for it, but instead of marriage, it's to audition for tracker. That's my marriage.
Yeah. Well, that's a mistress.
Yeah. There we go. That's my side chick
Very,
right there.
very important
My
distinction.
sneaky link. Yeah.
Okay.
Outlining.
So outlining. So I do think that, well, in television, it's essential because it is part of the actual contractual process.
So they need.
Outlines are cleared before you go to script.
Do you have to format them in a certain way? Because my outlines are just like a Google Doc that look like an insane. It's like the Charlie Day meme.
We write them like in Final Draft as if they are all description, no dialogue.
Right.
That's what they look like.
Okay.
They look like big chunks of description, slug lines if you can.
Oh.
Yeah, just to sort of break it up.
Yeah.
And then
some white space.
We write out what happens and what people talk about, and then we submit that. It's usually 9 to 10 pages on an hour or on a half hour, maybe, or it's 8 or 9 on a half hour, and maybe 10 to 12 in a 1 hour.
And obviously, that's different than the show Bible that you have to sort of.
Show Bible's totally different.
Yeah.
And then the outlines for a movie, well, that's your own personal process that you use to manage your own idea. So I'll outline, but it's for me, not for anyone else. So it's in code of like shorthand. Sometimes bullet points, sometimes paragraphs. And then what I think outlining is most used for now for me is pitching, because I often will pitch the concept now well before I write it, and I need an outline just to formulate my pitch. So the natural byproduct of building a pitch is you end up with an outline for your pilot.
Have you ever pitched something that was already written and they're like, I like it, get to writing it, and you're like, all right, I'm going to need 8 weeks to, and then you just give them the document.
That sounds like a non-lazy procrastinator type person.
That's true. Yeah.
So I know why would I do that?
That's not Doom LAN party, Simon.
You want me to work really hard and without a deadline or, pressure? What? Why?
I know.
What is that? I don't know.
I was like trying to like put self-imposed deadlines on me and my writing partners, and it's just like when we know we don't have to, it's tough. But I think it's a great give yourself deadlines is the most important.
I always
thing.
give myself a deadline or a reward, like a dog treat.
A doggy treat.
No, that's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a reward like a dog treat.
Yeah.
Like,
not a milk bone
I'll go,
fella.
if you write the screenplay by this date, you can go to Mexico.
Right.
Or
damn, what a good treat.
Do something like that. Something good.
Yeah.
Something you want to go do.
Yeah.
Let's go skydiving.
Did you hit your deadline? Because we were supposed to pod last week, and you're like, I got a deadline.
I did. I delivered the rewrite of a pilot script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that fun doing a rewrite gigs?
I mean, the notes were good notes, so yes, it's fun when the notes are good. Makes it better. Yes.
And now
you read it and you're going, oh, that guy's smart, and he helped me make a better story.
And is Netflix? Is this for a Netflix show?
No, this is not a Netflix show yet.
Right. Oh, I see.
It might be one someday, but right now it's just a story in development with a company.
Right. You know what? Everyone says the same thing now. They say, well, if I was starting out today, I would make my own stuff because it's never been easier to make your own stuff. But I kind of think that that's a bit of an oversimplification. I think that everyone has an iPhone with a good camera, but people don't realize that attention is the toughest thing to earn now.
Yeah, it's much harder to be discovered and much harder to make noise than ever. I was having this conversation with my friend Greg Middleton actually just the other day because when we were young, when we were 15, 14, like you are, we would make Super 8 movies all day long when we could afford the stock.
Very cool.
And our dream was to, when we were, I think, 15, we were like, let's remake Star Wars, but in 16 mil. And we'll shoot Tatooine at the beach. And we'll
Nice.
build a set for here, and we literally thought we would just do a shot
Frame for frame.
remake in Super 8 of Star Wars, because that's how weird and nerdy we were.
Well,
And now
adorably naive.
and
let's
now
say.
we're like, hey, I asked the question. I said, if we were 15 in 2025 and we had AI and iPhones, would we try? And Greg looked at me and he was like, of course we would. And I was like, yeah, I think we would.
Yeah.
We would play all the parts on our iPhones, and then we would dump it into the AI, Soros or Midjourney or whatever the next one's going to be called.
Yeah.
And we would try and make the movie we wanted to make when we were 15, because we were still 15.
Yeah.
And I do think, but obviously there's going to be 8 million bad versions of Star Wars made in AI now.
Of course, you're not the only ones.
And
yeah.
everyone's going to be just looking at it like, oh, chum, 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 chum,
Yeah.
chum. Where's the fish?
Yeah.
And no one's going to pay attention.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, you always hear people say, like, just go out there and do it. And it's like, the doing it is the easy part.
Yeah, creatively.
It's easier than ever.
Creatively,
yeah.
you can get it out of your system. But is anyone going to show up? No, probably not. And then that's the thing. That's the problem. It's who are you making it for? If you're just making it for yourself, then great. Or your friends.
But most artists want to share their work with people, and that's where that's the rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, knowing when you know it costs very little to make, do you want to pay for it?
Right. Yeah. If I'm like, oh, this guy made this.
Are you going to
it's like,
sign
I made
up?
this in 48 hours
Yeah.
thanks to the newest technology. I'm like,
Yeah.
so you didn't work hard on it? Or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's that thing.
And how are you going to make money? Is that a job?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is that
I've
a job?
heard that before.
I don't know
yeah.
if that's a job. I don't think it is a job. And that's it's probably going to make a big difference, is that people are going to scrutinize this as a industry, not just
Right.
as a tool. That's why I think it's going to be a tool used by people more than the clear, changeover of creative guard. It's
Yeah.
just going to be that, people who you already want to see their work, artists, will use AI in a way that they can't do whatever they want to do with normal cameras.
Right.
And that will make you want to see the next, like, imagine David Lynch, if he was still around, decided, I'm going to make an AI movie because it'll be the Lynch version of that. And then you're like, I will want to see that.
Right. It's the person dictate. Like
the
he's
artist.
still directing.
Yeah, it's still someone's vision from a point of view that it's their interpretation, and that you don't care what the tools are at that point. You just, that there is a tool. Sure, there's a tool. VFX is a tool.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like they're all tools. A camera is a tool. A dolly is a tool. Music is a tool. They're all part of the process that make a movie experience. So I think AI will just merge into that tool set, toolkit.
It might even make more grounded things that require AI, don't require AI. It might even make that a bit more special because, I remember when I was a kid watching this, like the making of Titanic, and watching James Cameron explain how he had digitally created people to be waving goodbye at the New York harbor to people down below, and I'm like, oh, those aren't extras. Those are CGI people, and that was like the first time I was like, oh, that's very cool. And now it would seem like if you're explaining that to an alien and you're trying to be like, AI's bad, but the alien would be like, but that was okay. What James Cameron did before, like it's still not people. And I could see why it's so contentious because there's such fine lines, and that's the VFX department. And does that have anything to do with writing or acting or those other departments, directing, cinematography, editing? So it's the effects are wide reaching, and it's case by case basis. And I think ultimately, like you're saying, it comes down to like, well, who's in charge? Who's the creative driving force? And is that the person we should
Well,
be
when
getting
sound came into movies, no one felt bad for all those musicians who were fired from their live music playing jobs in theaters.
Oh yeah.
Where was the outrage?
Yeah, that's
for
right.
all those live musicians who were playing along with Buster Keaton.
Yeah.
I
used to go bonk when the Stooges got hit.
Like those guys all had jobs that were great, and they could pay their bills playing live in theaters, and then they're gone.
Right, they're gone.
And see ya. We got recorded sound now.
The future's now, old man.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be kind of like that story, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just a tourist on this planet.
Oh.
I'm going back to my home planet soon. So,
Tri-Solaris?
Tri-Solaris. Yeah. How did you?
You son of a.
You're just a bug, Danny.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah, I like the show.
I did not see it because I worry that it contains elements from all three books, and I don't want to.
It did include a little from book 2 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but not a ton.
I have like 10 pages left of the third book. Like I'm finishing it today at some point. Yeah, and then I need something else. Are you a pretty voracious reader?
Well, I read so much for work.
Yeah, that's
so I'm
right.
really good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I'm sending you 12 scripts. I need you to read.
And
right
I read
now,
so much that now reading is no longer a joy. It's now a chore. No, I do like to read when I can, or audiobook.
Oh yeah,
which is easier for me to feel
Is
like
it
it's
way
not
more
work.
audiobooks than actual reading now?
I think for me, it's become like the difference between reading for pleasure is work, and audiobooks is more of like pleasure.
If there was an app, I'm sure there is. Actually, I think I've heard like John August and Craig Mazin talk about this before, but I can't quite remember if it exists. But if there was an app that basically turned screenplays that you're supposed to read into like podcasts, or audiobooks, would you use that instead?
I think AI can do that already.
Yeah, probably easily can.
I think.
But there's something about reading it on the page that you could give better note. Like, because if you're reading something, you're giving an analysis.
I do tend to read with a pen when I'm reading for work, because I do mark up everything. So, I wouldn't be able to do that on a podcast on an audiobook.
Right.
Speaking of podcasts, though.
Yeah,
this one has to end
fucking
eventually.
Terrible one, does it?
Yeah,
that's what everyone who's been listening to this podcast since the beginning is saying. Danny's got to stop doing this eventually.
I don't mean it's got to end like in history. I just mean today, Friday.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Thank you for being here, Simon.
No problem.
You want to come back sometime?
Yes, when I have another accomplishment to share with you.
Okay, that's great. What about when I have accomplishments to share?
No,
with you?
But that's why you have a podcast, because you can do it every day.
Yeah, catch me on Watson on CBS. Folks.
Yeah, are you on Watson?
I am. Yeah,
That's
a couple
cool.
episodes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a fun group.
I've heard of
over
that
there.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, keep your eyes peeled for Nurse Beck next time you watch it.
Nice.
See the shenanigans he gets
Wow.
up to.
You should cut a demo tape together so I don't have to watch these shows.
I will.
I'll just watch your bits.
I'll tell my agent, hey,
All
can
of
you
that.
send my shit to Simon?
Send a clip reel.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that was made my life so much easier.
And just some of my workouts will be thrown in there just to, pad the... It's like a 15-minute reel. Come on, Danny. This is supposed to be the cream of the crop here.
Yeah, I have very little time to watch just random television. I have to literally plan it out.
Shit, I wanted to watch Love Island with you right after we stopped recording.
I've never seen Love Island.
I promised my girlfriend I'd watch it.
Okay, well, you should watch with her for sure, just for politics.
Say hi to Jackie for me, please.
I will.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
I know you've been forced to listen to this piece of shit podcast.
No, she'll just roll her eyes and go, "Oh yeah, you did a podcast, great."
Oh yeah, Danny's thing. Yeah, that's cool.
I have real things to do.
Yeah, like I'm telling Darth Vader where to stand on his
fucking
fucking
mark. It must be nice
mark.
for you, Simon, to have an hour in your day. You can just go and do a podcast. Like some of us have to work for a living.
Yeah, you're going to be asked to do something you don't want to do very soon, and this will be...
I'm like, Jackie, I just hope you get to a point where you're being inundated with podcast requests like I'm not.
Jackie, you're next, by the way. Yeah. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for listening, you guys.